First forms of writing were cuneiform and hieroglyphics, which were so complicated that probably not more than 2% of the population learned how to read and write. But then, in between these two countries of Egypt and Mesopotamia, some group figured out an extremely easy way to communicate in writing called the alphabet. And we humans have a very strange wiring in our brain, and that although the two lobes of the brain look very similar, they're actually functionally different.
Specialized.
Yeah, very specialized. So 90% of language centers reside in the left hemisphere of right-handed people. And to prevent getting bogged down in qualifiers here, I'm just going to talk about right-handed people who are predominantly left-brained. And it's almost as if all of the temporal functions, all of the functions that proceed in time, such as language, causality, determinism, logic, reason, all those things are very linear. And all the spatial functions, not all of them, but many of the spatial functions reside in the right hemisphere. So that recognizing faces, seeing patterns, seeing the holistic gestalt and seeing the parts to the whole and the relationship to them is primarily a right hemispheric function. So it's as if the right hemisphere processes information that is holistic, synthetic, concrete, and simultaneous, and the left hemisphere processes information that's linear, sequential, reductionist, and abstract. Now, I maintain that every man and woman has a feminine side and a masculine side to their personality, to their psyche, to their mind. And I believe that the masculine side of both men and women is primarily their left hemisphere. And the feminine side of both men and women is primarily their right hemisphere. So what is the effect on culture of introducing into culture a very powerful communication tool that reinforces only one side? When I speak to you, as I'm doing right now, I need both sides of my lips, both vocal cords, both sides of my tongue. In fact, if I've been to the dentist and I've had Novocaine, I can't talk very well. So I need the cooperation of both hemispheres.
As do, I presume, the people who are watching us right now.
And when you're listening to me, your left hemisphere is following what I'm saying in a very linear fashion. But your right hemisphere is checking me out. I mean, you're watching me, you're looking at me, you're seeing whether I seem sincere, how am I dressed, do I have alcohol on my breath? And there's a whole bunch of nonverbal clues that go into the decision of what I'm saying that are almost as important as what I'm saying. When you write with only one hand. Up until the invention of the typewriter, the dominant hand held the stylus, the pen, the chisel, and the left hand was essentially afunctional in writing. I mean, if you lost your left vocal cord, you'd have a hard time speaking. But if you lost your left arm, it wouldn't interfere with your ability to write. So this is a very profound change. And I think that the alphabet changed the way people envision their reality.